Heyo everybody, Haku here, finally gonna get to the June chapters for MARRIAGETOXIN. We have chapters 167 through, there are 4 of them, so through 170. So gonna do the June chapters, then I guess we'll wait for July. As much as it's a pain to wait, I am glad that I don't have to only read one chapter. I really feel like for some series, reading one chapter is nice, and then for some series, reading one chapter takes away my enjoyment because I read it and I'm like, dang it, I just want more. So as much as it's harsh to wait, I love that I don't have to only sit and read one chapter, that I get to read like maybe even up toward an hour's worth. I really like that. I just recorded my review for the anime, so if you want me to talk more about the anime, I yapped for like 30 minutes about it. I don't think there's anything else I would want to say about that here. As far as the manga goes, we just finished off, kind of, the Sanctuary arc, I suppose we'll call it, and I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. And now we have the characters moving on. We've still got to rescue the kidnapped ones. So what do we do now? What does this turn into? What does our next arc look like? We may be just transitioning here with these 4 chapters, or we might get a taste of what's next, which will be pretty nice. Especially coming off of the anime, I wonder what the manga is going to do with that, since there are going to be a lot more people coming in. But also, we got our Volume 18 cover, and Volume 18 is dropped in Japan, but it hasn't come out yet in English, so I'll have to wait and see for myself when it comes out in English. But I think it's kind of weird. When I was going to get the volume cover to use for the video and everything, it seemed like the volume only has like 7 chapters and like 5 or 6 bonuses. That's really weird. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Not with, like, again, MARRIAGETOXIN has had 17 volumes before this. Not really with MARRIAGETOXIN. MARRIAGETOXIN usually has a solid, like, 8 to 12 chapters and maybe a bonus or 2, but it's weird too, because, again, after the 7 that come out in Volume 18, there are still a bunch of chapters that haven't been put into a volume yet. So it's crazy only doing 17 and then having so many bonuses in one volume. I'll really be curious when that comes out in English. But either way, I guess that's where we are now. So without yapping any further, I'll go ahead and start reading. As usual, it is not just a manga, but it's Shueisha. I definitely can't show it on screen, so we just have the volume cover up. For anybody new, you'll have to read along yourselves, but I do keep the chapter number up here and the volume cover so you have something to look at and to help you follow along with what chapter I'm on. But either way, with all that aside, let's see where we start. We start with waking up from the nightmare at the sanctuary. Okay, so he's waking up. I'm going to really quick double check because I didn't before I started reading. Okay, I was just double checking with chapter 166 to make sure that it was one that I had already read, obviously. But yeah, of course it is. Just from where we ended, it seems like we're jumping a little bit, so I wanted to double check. That happens sometimes. Sometimes between chapters, it'll feel like such a jump that I'm like, hold on, I need to go back and check. So we have waking up from the nightmare at the sanctuary. We have some flashbacks behind him as Hikaru wakes up. And, oh my gosh, this spread, it's kind of adorable. We've got Ushio, Kinosaki, and Urashiyama. And this is like fuel for the harem route, I suppose. Again, with a lot of the themes of the series, it feels like we could be leading into Hikaru and Kinosaki finale. However, with also a lot of the themes, it makes you think, no, maybe he would go for somebody other than Kinosaki. But also, even though a lot of people don't like harem route or harem ending, again, it's a manga, it's not real, there's already a crazy amount of goofy stuff in MARRIAGETOXIN. I am up for harem route just so that everybody gets a happy ending. And again, because it is a manga, all they again, it's not real. We don't have to see what kind of marriage issues would come from a harem root. All we have to say is they lived happily ever after. And we can go with it. And then the shot of, again, him trapped by all of them. Freaking out more than usual, even. Ah, Geto-kun, you woke up. Oh, that's right. You all had to take care of me again, huh? I really owe you guys. It's no biggie. Here, the invoice for the nursing fees. We have the charge. Hamu from Sirius. Kinosaki, how long was I out? About 3 days. What? 3 whole days? I gotta hurry, and he collapses. What? Geto-sama, are you still hurt? No, I'm just hungry. Hikaru Geto, we made you some food, so let's go eat. Right. Sounds good. Haste makes hella waste. He remembers Naruko. I've already added it to the invoice, so don't hold back. I guess I gotta get my strength back first. Anyway, that and I still have some questions. We see Kinosaki. We have everyone eating together. Again. Harem root fuel. By the way, how come you're all here at my place? What about work, Ushio? And we have thanks a bunch as the bat dragon flies off. If the Nasu doll user was planning to make a move on us, he'd have already done something by now. Or if Nasu the doll user. So, with the bat dragon, I am wondering from what we saw if that is a new transformation for Toshiro, but I don't necessarily think it is, because her will and her heart is what called out to the wolf divine beast to start partnering with Tonako. So I think, again, him teaming up with his bat partner here and going down to the bottom of the sea with Byakko potentially, I think is maybe what called the dragon bat divine beast. And I think this is just the divine beast that's his partner. But it could be a transformation for him. I don't know. Maybe I need to reread, because I think it's still a teeny bit unclear to me. That doesn't seem to be the case, so it could be that he has some other scheme in the works, or either way I can't afford to get any more involved. I'm worried about Hikaru-sama, but until I get a direct request for cooperation, I'll be going on ahead. Let's get going then, says Kinosaki to Geto-kun's place. And then, is jealousy the tsundere? Is it going to drive her to change her mind? It's really cute. What? Huh? Why? His place would be our safest bet, no? Oh, I fully, totally, fiercely agree. Hamu. Sides, we can all rest easier if we're together. Right, Shizukune? Come on. Let's go. Booking me exclusively will cost you, though. I see. Sorry you had to put up with my place for 3 days. Bah! Hey, it's not all that bad, right, Shizukune? Oh, Arashiyama-sama certainly enjoyed exploring your home. And then her face. So this is the famous DIY snack display shelf. So he uses this shampoo. Floor storage. I want to see. Shizukune, that's supposed to be a secret. Well, I'm glad you had fun. Kinosaki, you said this incident was your doing. Yes. When we went to your ancestral home. Hold up. You went to Geto Hikaru's ancestral home? I want to go too. What do you take it for? Some kind of tourist attraction? Back then, on our way out. Your skills are truly impressive, Kinosaki Mei-san. But now, the required head count for child making has been met, and the time has come for him to take them all as his wives. Okay, so we can't get harem root because it's what Nasu is planning on. Your stalling ends here. So, we don't know how long, but at some point, Kinosaki must have been approached by his family in order to work with this. I mean, we know Kinosaki's hiding the scar. We know that Kinosaki was back at the human zoo. So we don't know for how long, but at least for some amount of time. If it's from the very beginning, that's going to be kind of sad because of how Kinosaki and Gero met. It's going to kind of darken their meeting, which is sad. But again, does this count out harem root because it's what they want? Or do we turn against that by being like, no, I want a happy, normal life, and I am going to do the happy, normal life in spite of what you want? Or do we fully reject what they want and go for Kinosaki where they can't, by blood, carry on the family? Like, in which way do we reject this? So we have the three of them reacting. That convinced me that if nothing was done, Gero-kun would be forced to do as his family wants and take everyone as his wives, and we have a shot of the harem root. Or I wonder too, if maybe Kinosaki was never actually working with them, not actually stalling, but it's just the family was using something that Kinosaki was doing genuinely against Gero. Like maybe Kinosaki was just genuine the entire time. Well, I'd be fine with, wait, no, I wouldn't. You never let up, do you? And then Arashiyama considering it for a bit. But now I'm 4-timing? I can't. That's why I had to take the gamble. While the doll user was busy maneuvering around Ureshino-san, I secretly got in contact with Tonako-san. Then again, I feel like writing-wise, the series should have maybe done a better job at narrowing them down by now. Unless, I don't want us to rush narrowing them down. If the others are going to find happiness away from being with Hikaru, which again, feels like hollow for them. It's like we've built up these relationships to then not have the relationships work and have the characters settle for something else. Feels sad for the characters at this point, especially when Himi hasn't gotten that much time to begin with. It feels kind of sad for the characters. So I hope we don't rush narrowing them down, but even if we don't rush narrowing them down, it still just feels kind of sad. She seemed to be interested in you as well, so I asked her to shelter you in the sanctuary and give you a chance to grow. Your life was certainly in danger, so I can't say it was the ideal choice, but in order to outwit the doll user, I had to keep everything under wraps, even from you, Gero-kun. Kinosaki, you really are the best marriage advisor anyone could ask for. I know I have my shortcomings, but I hope you'll stick with me until the end. Arashiyama, Ushio, if the two of you hadn't come to help me out of worry, I'd have been stuck drowning in that pit of filth. And this also kind of feels, let me say it again, thank you. If we're narrowing them down, Himi wasn't that developed to begin with. I don't feel like Himekawa's the strongest in terms of relationship with Gero. Then it gets difficult, because I do think Ureshino's relationship with him is solid. I think Akakura's relationship with him is great. And Ushio and Arashiyama have kind of gotten the most time, it feels like. Akakura's gotten a bit of time too, but I feel like these two have gotten the most. So, I don't know. I don't know how we narrow this down. It feels like we just need more time. And Tonako as well. That said, and again, if we're narrowing them down, it's not like we've narrowed it down as in Himekawa has moved on, because she hasn't. If anything, her connection to Hikaru grew more the last time we saw her. And I can't say that Himi was necessarily ruled out as a waifu candidate. It's just that we've barely seen anything of her. Not that she's been ruled out. And Tonako as well. That said, there are still others who remain captive. As things stand, I can't move forward with my marriage journey. That's why. Alright, let's go save them. I can offer you my services at a special preferential rate. Also, like, the art this chapter's looked amazing. It's looked great. I mean, it usually looks great, but this chapter's been really good. Thanks. I'm counting on you guys. But before that, there's one more person I need to check on first. I have been mentioning it almost every read through, how we never ever see Hime. Finally we are seeing Hime again. Ever since her one arc, we have pretty much just not seen her. And that one arc was forever ago. A familiar shadowed figure without her usual spunk. Finally, we're getting Hime again. Okay, it is about time. It is about time. But again, we brought up the harem route here in multiple different ways and aspects with the characters thinking about it. The way that Gero's feelings earlier were brought up again, the way that Mei's idea for Gero was brought up again, and the way that Doll User is seeing it in a perverse way, but also it's kind of weird. Why would the family even... The required head count for child making, it doesn't even necessarily make sense for the family or for the doll user to think that way. Why did they need 6? The head count has been made. Why? And also, if the family was trying to manipulate it, why those 6? I mean, Akakura makes sense in that she is a good fighter and is compatible with Gero in seemingly a lot of ways. She was able to use the poison. Ushio as a special person born with the water powers makes sense. Arashiyama makes less sense being a branch family member, but it is a branch family member from another of the great families, so it might deepen the poison user blood in that way. Arashino and Hime are rich, but Batman money powers? Is that just it? I mean, I don't think that would really be something that the Gero family would think about a lot. And then Himekawa is the real outlier, unless we're going to say that because she was an orphan, unless we're going to say that Himekawa has actually some secret bloodline or something. It feels a weird thing. Like, why would they want him to be with 6 people? He'd be forced to do as his family wants and take everyone as his wife. Why would it doesn't necessarily make sense that the family would want that right now. Like, maybe we'll get an explanation later, but for right now, that doesn't... Like, the family just wanted him to be with one person even, really. Especially one person of their choosing. To have 6 without their choosing just doesn't... I don't know, it doesn't make sense that that's what the family would want, now that I think about it. So I don't know. We'll have to see where that goes. But I don't think that makes the most sense right now. So I'm excited to continue reading. I'm excited to maybe get a new Hime arc here. And it seems like, maybe they'll go off to do their own thing for right now, but if we get another arc with Ushio and Arashiyama, again, that makes Ushio's, 5th arc, maybe? And Arashiyama's 4th? That's a lot of arcs for these two. Okay, either way, especially if it's only going to be Hime's 2nd. Either way, though, let's go check out Chapter 168. Starting Chapter 168, the hardcore cool girl Hime, is she doing alright? Hime Makoto. She's a friend of Ureshino's, a regular university student, and a fan of a band called Bourgeoisie. And she was in a difficult position, almost getting coerced into a marriage her father decided for her. We even had to face off with the astute ghost user, which made things tricky, but in the end, Hime settled things through her own strength. I wonder, because we've been bringing in a lot of the former antagonist users as well, and also we see in the band, Naruto is snuck in there. Was he in there before? I don't remember him in there before. Did he just join at some point? So I wonder if we'll get Sakazuki again, because we've been bringing in these former antagonists. Sorry. I was just thinking, because I was at the bottom of the page and the feet were out, I was like, for free? The foot bros, always getting pandered to. I tried contacting her over and over, but she hasn't replied once. She might tell me off for showing up at her place uninvited and call me a creep, but I'm worried about her. So, Hikaru Geto's into that type too. We have And Ashiyama taking notes. And Ashiyama being around has been really great. From what you just said, she sounds like a lot to handle. If he thinks about his past interactions. She can be, but she's shown me worlds I never knew existed. She's straightforward and honest, and a genuinely good person. And the two of them react at the rival. Well, I didn't really expect otherwise. Let's be on our way then. I'm excited to meet her. Again, I feel like... Again, the harem route seems like it could be bad because it's what the family wants, but also... I don't know how much they care. If anything, Hikaru might care more than any of the waifu candidates. The waifu candidates might just be like, well, good enough. You really do get Himi-san, huh, Geto-kun? Good job. Oh. And we see the Himi mansion. Looks like nobody's home. Geto-sama? Yeah, hold it. Searching a house? Well, that's right up our alley. And we have the Sidia squad. And then the reactions from Mei and Ushio. Hemis, go check for the place of any sign, or go check the place for any signs of danger. Hamo hamo, and they all search. My Hemis say that there looks to be one person inside. Can't say if it's Himi or not, though. Ah, it's open. And Kinosaki just opens the gate. Is the one inside actually Nasu? Then maybe I should go alone. Geto-sama, it's too late to be worrying about us at this point, says Ushio. It's unlocked. And they all enter. We have this haunted mansion vibe going on with this page. I want to do that too. Alright, you're not good with scary stuff. Please, don't mind me. And we have the poster there. Eek. It's a Bourgeoisie poster. That's Himi's favorite band. Poster. Bourgeoisie. Deluxe editions actually save you money. Then, still, something's off. Didn't they have a lot of household staff? Where'd they all go? And we see Himi alone in the hall. Himi? And she just keeps walking. Hey, wait, Himi. And they walk into a room full of doll user bodies. And all react. Are these dolls? These weren't here earlier. And Himi falls over. I guess I'm really just an afterthought, huh? Himi. No, it's not. This is the doll user's work. Urashiyama, Ushio, let's get out of this room for now. And they've all been captured and made into dolls? What? Have they unwittingly fallen into the palm of the enemy's hand? So we are doing doll user stuff this arc. It seems like we might be doing that now. Confronting that now. I think that might be good because I don't really... I mentioned it at the end of the Specialist Masters arc when we were first revealed the doll user and everything. While the build-up was exciting, once we got to what the doll user actually wanted, the idea of them just being kidnapped and off-screened while, you know, it makes the comedy less fun or the relationship building less fun because the whole time it's just like, they're being kept captive off screen. Can we do something about that? Like, they're not living their own lives. They're not developing further. They're just trapped in this stasis of, we don't know what's going on. They've been kidnapped. I don't really like that plot point. And now getting into, aha, we have the required amount, so we'll make them all your wives. And it not making sense why they would even want that to begin with. I don't like the doll user conflict. It is the most main overarching conflict we've had so far for the series, but it's, I think, the weakest writing-wise that we've seen for the series. So I would like to get the doll user conflict done with and free all of the waifu candidates, because when this conflict is done with and when they are freed, then we can start working on Hikaru's relationship with them more and start building them as individual characters more away from just being kidnapped and dealing with doll user, so that we can if a character isn't going to be who he ends up with, we can develop them in such a way where they find their ending, their piece away from him, and we can start narrowing the relationship down until he finds who he's going to actually end up with. Whether, again, that's one of them or Kinosaki. But either way, we do need to start narrowing them down if that's what we're doing. If we're not doing a harem route, we need to develop the characters as individuals enough to where they can find an ending and be ruled out. And I don't think we can do that until we solve this Nasu conflict. So I kind of would like us to maybe get it out of the way. Which is a sad way to put it, but again, I think it is the weakest conflict so far because it takes the character's agency away, like the waifu candidate character's agency away. Now Himekawa's not developing off screen, not doing her own thing, not growing. The same goes for gosh, why am I forgetting her name for some reason right now? Akakura. Same with her. She isn't exploring things like she was before off screen. And before, she was growing into a way where you could imagine a way where she ends up happy with somebody else or on her own outside of Ghetto. But this conflict has put that all on a standstill. It's taken away agency from the waifu candidate characters. It's taken away development for the waifu candidate characters. And I don't like what it's done with making them be treated in this way. So I kind of do want to get it out of the way so that they aren't just trapped in a stasis anymore story-wise and can develop more. So that's what I'm feeling right now. So going on, we're halfway through to chapter 169. Moving on to 169, we have Gero pays a visit to Himi's house, but now Arashiyama and Ushio are acting strange. And we see their eyes are all dull usered up. And we have another doll carrying another one. He's looking over, carrying like a bridal carry. They go toward the door. And Arashiyama and Ushio follow. You guys, wait! He runs after them, using Toxin Blaze. He runs past the two of them and tries to stand in their way. Wake up, Arashiyama, Ushio, you're being controlled by Nasu. I'll use my toxin that kills bloodlust. I wonder, though, is it actually he who's being controlled? Is he just seeing things? Because the two of them are looking at him concerned. No, I can't. I don't have the heart to use my toxin on these two. And we have the both of them rush past using the hammies and water. They make it past and continue to follow after the Nasu that's carrying the other Nasu. But the one that's being carried looks like Hikaru. So do they think they're going after Hikaru and saving him? Stop right there. Give us back Hikaru Gero. Wait, where are you guys going? So it seems like they all might be being manipulated? No need to be alarmed. I'm merely showing these ladies the dream of their desires. And we see dolls of all of the waifu candidates placed into these rooms. Okay, I'm looking at their rooms to take it in. Okay. Cute. Alright. The bedchambers have been readied. I shall await you at our ancestral home, Hikaru-sama. And now we have the doorbell ringing for Himi. So then, I wonder if they're just in the human zoo, essentially, at this point. Heya, Makoto. So, again, they're all just being manipulated to be living their dream life with Gero, probably, in the human zoo. And so that's what's being made perverse about it, is they all are in just this illusory world, essentially, that they're living happily with him, but meanwhile, he is trapped between all 6 of them. So that is the perversion of the harem route that's being done here. Huh? Why are you... Stop, Ghetto. Here? Really? This isn't the place for this. I said stop, and she punches him. You big bad creep. What the heck are you doing? How'd Ghetto guess the one sitch I'd go crazy for? Gah, well, again, her biggest fantasy. You told me yourself that once we started living together, I should pin you down every day when I get home. Ghetto, I don't mind. If it's you, you can take my soul. Ha! A glimpse of her ideal Ghetto in her ideal chambers. So this is... I wonder if next chapter will go through the fantasies of the others. This was a really short chapter, though, was it not? I mean, there were a ton of, like, full-page panels. This was very quick. It was very weirdly presented, the taking of these two. And now I don't know if this is the actual Hikaru here, or if it's just her fantasy that she's living in. I don't know. It's hard to tell what right now is manipulation because of the way it was presented. And like how literal some of this stuff is. It's hard to tell how literal some things are. So, I don't know. I don't like this conflict very much with the doll user. I think the series was going really, really well up until the Specialist Masters arc in terms of developing the individual characters and developing their relationships with Hikaru, but them being kidnapped just put everything not just at a standstill. It seems like it took so many things off the rail or made so many things take a step back, where the characters and his relationship with them is really, I think, writing-wise, negatively affected by this. Maybe in the future I will change my mind on that, but I feel like this conflict is negatively affecting the waifu candidates' characters as individuals, and also negatively affecting their relationships, which I think sucks, man. It's so disappointing with how much I've loved this series. And I was saying that with the Specialist Master stuff, because again, all of that, in the meantime, some people are just kidnapped off screen while we're having fun with one of the lighter arcs, honestly. And then going from that into the reveal, and I just don't think it helps their characters. And then we take some time away from that with the Sanctuary arc, and it's great again. And now we're back into it, and I just think this conflict does not help the characters. It really hurts them, which is a bummer. So maybe since we're going to focus on Hime more, now that everyone's been taken, maybe Hime will be the main ally that helps Ghetto as he takes down the doll user and frees everybody. But taking, like, the doll user has been so, like, built up throughout Hikaru's life, his entire life, even his childhood, that it feels weird taking him out here and then continuing the story. But I feel like we need to, in order to continue the story. In order to develop the rest of the world, in order to develop these characters, we need to be done with the doll user. We need to get done with this stuff in order to continue developing them. But it feels weird because he was literally the master in Ghetto's past. It just feels like weird to finish things with him this early. I think the writing with this plot, I said it at the end of the Specialist Masters arc, this reveal is just taking things way off the wall. It's disappointing that that's how things went with his sensei, because his sensei was so terrifying, and it's disappointing that that's how things went with the doll user, because the doll user was built up really well in the background. But having the sensei be the doll user, and then having the story play out this way, I think has done nothing but negatively affect the story. It's such a bummer. But either way, we have one more chapter for this month. We have 170. And I guess that leaves me just again, so disappointed. I feel like my ideal way to handle things now is, I would say, less than 10 chapters, get done with the doll user. I'm sick of the doll user. I hate this plot line. I think it negatively affects the story so much. But doing that, like I said, it makes so much of the stuff with the sensei, so much of that build up with his childhood, so much of the doll user build up, it invalidates it. But even if it does invalidate all that build up and permanently leaves a negative mark on the story, I think we can't continue to develop these characters properly. We can't continue to develop the story properly without just getting rid of this, without getting rid of the doll user and being done with this. And then it's like, okay, after the doll user, we have to deal with what? Tonako stuff some more, or the Kirishima family, or his grandmother. But still, it feels like the doll user should have, or the sensei should have been built up to be the big bad at the end, but kidnapping the waifu candidates has ruined the buildup of the doll user as the main antagonist. So now at this point, even though it was built to be the main antagonist, I don't want the doll user to be the main antagonist anymore. I want the doll user to be done in the past so that we can continue the story, because the doll user put the story at a standstill. It sucks. It was so built up to be the main antagonist, but now it just hurts the story so much that I want doll user stuff gone. I want this kidnapping stuff done, because the kidnapping stuff has been such a black spot on an otherwise great series up until then. It sucks that this is what we did with the characters. It's such a bummer. So we have chapter 170, and Himi embarks on a date in her ideal world with a ghetto that's just the way she likes him. So Immortal Highland is an amusement park. Why are we here, though? And again, knowing that this is all just in their fantasy and stuff. Man, it's such a bummer. Huh, late to the news, huh? Can't expect much from a non-bougie, I guess. Well, what else would we come here for but the big bourgeoisie collab tour? We see grand opening. By the way, my favorite's DJ Hiking. Alright. You went with me to one of their paid events, right? Yep, that was the best night ever. And now they're giving us this amusement park a lot. And again, is Ghetto being controlled, or is he not even actually here? This is just her fantasy. Does any of this matter at all? My soul is howling. It's like a dream. I'm sure the shop's gonna get mobbed by all the fans. Gah, Himi, wait. They're holding a DIY candy expo at the Mortal Lagoon. She growls. You know how popular bourgeoisie is, don't you? Everything will get sold out if we don't hurry. Gah, you're right. That was the underwhelming of the collab shop. Thanks, Morty. And then, I'm not sure how to feel. I'm glad I got something, but Himi, let's go and make the most of this park for the rest of the day. Today's all play and no rest. First up is that DIY Candy Expo. Then Immortal Highland is the most eco-friendly amusement park in the whole world, Morty. Oh, is this like what they called Undead Disneyland before with needle users' kids? And what it actually says is Fushie Highland? Fushie Highland or Fushido Highland, maybe? But the she is death. Then all the power used in the park is generated by hard-working Mortys at our underground facility, Morty. And from our roller coaster and merry-go-round to our Ferris wheel. All of it runs on pure Morty power, Morty. And this is insane. Seeing the rides. Whoa. It's from the top 5 families. That's rare. You got a rare specialist, and we have kids with specialist masters. Kirishima, its specialty is unknown. That's like top tier. So that's the legendary Ferris wheel? Ghetto, have you never ridden one? To be honest, no. She grabs his hand. Then let's go. And, hey, I know we're living together now. And doll users watching on as she's just unconscious going through all this. But you better keep yourself in check or else, Ghetto. And he's running there. So it is all in her dream. Ghetto-kun, Arashiyama, Ushio. And his phone goes off. Huh? Who's this? Hello? This voice. The ghost user Sakazuki. Okay, so we're bringing Sakazuki back in. Oh, you actually remember? How creepy. Yes, creepy indeed. He defeated me once and I barely managed to keep Himi out of harm's way back then. Why are you calling me and how'd you get my number? Interesting. Interesting indeed. There are some belongings of the dead I never got to recover in the Himi residence, and not too long ago I heard them scream. It would seem that a Kirishima technique has been activated. Kirishima? What do you know about them? Okay, so we're bringing in the Kirishima family here. The Kirishima family, censored users. One of the top 5 families with a storied history second only to the ghettos. Highly stealthy and secretive, the clan's powers remain unknown to this day. They're curse users. And he cuts through. Curse? Oh, that's where we're starting? A pain, such a pain. So Sakazuki must be from a branch of the Kirishima family then. A curse is like a form of hypnosis that can plant a complex suggestion through the use of a bloodlust-imbued catalyst. Those girls probably inadvertently made contact with one. And we see the ghetto doll steering Eve. So is the Nasu family related to that then? Because it seems like Nasu's doing similar things. Steering even the most skilled experts to their death by striking at the smallest gaps in one's vigilance. That's how the curse users play. If poison users use sneak attacks, then you could say that curse users set up the ultimate beginner's trap. There's no way to guard against them short of knowing how they work. I'm pretty sure that as we speak, all those ladies are now trapped in a lovely dream, hopelessly trapped. Wait, Sakazuki? Why is Nasu, a doll user, able to use the Curse Clan's power? Is your clan working? Simple. He stole it. The entire Curse Clan's been wiped out, save for me. And now it's the doll user who controls their power. Okay, so we're just speed running the Kirishima family. What? Funny thing, curses are especially effective against humans. It was a bad match, to say the least. Yes, funny indeed. I ran away before I could get caught up in that whole messy affair. Then I heavily modded my power and called myself a ghost user. I honestly don't know what to say. So like half a chapter, we've speedrun all of the Kirishima mystery. I don't know, I'm so disappointed. Sakazuki, it must have really been tough for you. I said they were jumping the shark with the ghost user reveal before, and they just continue it with, or the doll user reveal before, and they just continue it with the doll user stuff. The doll user stuff was supposed to be the main stuff, and it's so disappointing. Man, I'm so bummed. Oh, spare me the sympathy. And the way we're just rushing through it. Gah. I hope we rush through the doll user stuff and get rid of it, get done with it, but I hope that that's not the end of the series. I hope we just get rid of the doll user stuff because it was a failure of writing, and we just move on from there and tell the series without it. Man, it's such a bummer. I'm actually grateful to the doll user. I never did like dealing with all the clan stuff. So then, why did you call me? I just wanted to pay what I owe you for letting me go back then. It can be hard to kill somebody you owe a favor to. Gotcha. Well, thanks for telling me about Nasu's abilities. Now I owe you one, Sakazuki. This is why I hate you. Yes, I hate you. Gah. Huh. Oh, one last thing. I always thought there was no one who could break free from that dream. Himi. Yes, only her. She alone managed to break free. Altered lineage amplified spiritual PvP. From that power, the only one to unlock that achievement. That means that there should be at least one, no, a path to victory. The only flaw in the web of plans carefully laid out. Well, I think I've made my thoughts and opinions clear. I am severely disappointed. Like, Kirishima mystery's done. Bye. Guess that's finished. I'm extremely disappointed in the writing. I think that everything with the doll user kidnapping them has sucked because it's been so bad for their characters. And I want this kidnapping stuff to be done and out of the way because now we know they've literally been in a stasis. They've literally been in a dream world. So literally they have not been able to develop. it has ruined the development of these characters. It's taken a huge step backwards for the series. It's been a massive writing misstep. I really, 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 maybe even not even 10 chapters, maybe in whatever chapters I get to read for July, even if there's only like 4 of them, finish this in July, say, okay, doll users defeated and done, the girls are all freed, and now we can keep telling the story like we were telling it before the kidnapping started happening. Because the story before the kidnapping started happening was great. It was being done excessively well. And when we took a step away from that with the Sanctuary, it was great once again. So we need to get rid of this kidnapping stuff. This kidnapping stuff, this damsel in distress stuff, this stuff with the doll user has been awful. So I think that it should have never been done, but since it has been done, it needs to finish, and we need to continue like we were doing before, because it's bad. Yeah, I'm sorry to be so negative. I hate when I'm negative about a series in any of my videos, especially leaving off on that note, but the doll user stuff is bad. It isn't good. So hopefully we just resolve it, get it out. I don't even care if it's a good resolution. A good resolution to me is just the girls are freed and we're done with this. We did the Kirishima, the entire build up for all of that mystery. We concluded all of that in half a chapter. Give me half a chapter. Geto runs in there. Himi breaks out of the spell. He kicks the doll user in the face. We leave. Half a chapter. And then they talk about, wow, that sucked, didn't it? For the second half of chapter 171 and 172 onward, we can continue with the story with what it was before the kidnappings, because this has been awful. Just get rid of it. Yeah. Wow. That sucked. Chapter 167 was good, but after that, this doll user stuff was ass. Like it has been. Man, I'm so disappointed. So I guess, again, I hate to leave you on a negative note. I wonder if anybody else is feeling the way I'm feeling, but I hate this. So I guess like, comment, subscribe for more Marriage Toxin. I love the series, but, well, I love the series outside of this kidnapping bullshit. If you want to help support the channel by sharing around or dropping a super thanks, it's appreciated. If you want to help support the channel by becoming a member, hitting join down below, or becoming a patron by going to patreon.com/HakuofTheTubes, or a link will be in the description. It's appreciated. You help me continue to make things. You get your name at the end of videos, and you get One Piece bingo a bit early. Thank you to people who are members and patrons. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Hawley and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls Dee Man and Maru, Territon Student David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pater Real. Thank you so much for suffering through this along with me, for sticking through the video. I am so sorry if you disagree or my opinions are unique to me, but I'm so bummed. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time.